Bethlehem Tilahun Alemu watched her childhood friends disappear one by one, not from disease, not from war, but from hopelessness. Some turned to drugs, others slipped into begging. Some simply gave up and sat idle all day, waiting for nothing. She saw brilliant hands that used to craft beautiful things, go numb with shame. She saw proud parents crumble under the weight of poverty, unable to provide even one meal a day. And she saw a community, once full of music and color, start to fade into silence. That silence broke something in her. Bethlehem was born in Zenebevok, a small community in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Her neighborhood was poor, not just in money, but in opportunity. Yet it was rich in culture, in skill, in people. From a young age, she noticed something strange. The world didn't seem to see what she saw. While news reports showed starving children and dusty villages, Bethlehem saw creativity. She saw weavers, tailors, and artisans who could create magic with their bare hands. She saw strength, but no one seemed to be listening. So she decided to make the world listen. After graduating from Unity University in Ethiopia and studying further at Harvard Kennedy School, Bethlehem didn't chase a fancy job abroad. She returned home. Everyone thought she was crazy. "You're too smart to waste your time here," they said. But she had a mission. She wanted to build something in her own neighborhood that would show what Africans were really capable of, not just surviving, but creating. And so, with barely any money, she started a small shoe company in her community. The name? Soul Rebels. It wasn't just about shoes, it was about dignity. Bethlehem knew people in her neighborhood had the skills. Many were descendants of traditional Barabaso shoemakers, artisans who made sandals from recycled materials like old tires. So she asked herself, what if we turn this tradition into a global brand? What if we took this forgotten craft and made the world fall in love with it again? And they did. Every pair of Soul Rebels was handcrafted, made from local, eco-friendly materials like organic cotton, jute, hemp, and recycled tires. Every pair carried not just comfort and style, but a story of home, a story of hope. But nothing came easy. The first year, Bethlehem struggled to get noticed. No one wanted to invest in a poor woman from Ethiopia making shoes out of trash. Factories turned her down. Exporters didn't take her seriously. Banks laughed at her. She remembers working for hours to deliver the first few boxes herself. She remembers crying after suppliers cancelled orders without warning. She remembers skipping meals just to keep the lights on in the workshop. But she kept going because people were watching. Her friends, her neighbors, they were watching to see if she would fail too. She refused to fail. And then things started to shift. One day, an international buyer discovered Soul Rebels online. Then came more attention. People from around the world wanted these unique ethical shoes. They loved the story, the mission, and most importantly, the craftsmanship. Bethlehem's team grew from 5 people to 50 to hundreds. She didn't just hire people, she empowered them. Everyone earned fair wages. Everyone was trained. She built a full supply chain within Ethiopia. No outsourcing, no exploitation. Soon, Soul Rebels became the fastest growing African footwear brand in the world. But Bethlehem didn't stop there. She launched Republic of Leather, a luxury brand redefining how people view African leather goods. She built Garden of Coffee, a cafe chain that celebrates the deep coffee traditions of Ethiopia, the birthplace of coffee itself. She created Perimeter Consulting to help other African businesses grow globally and bring pride back to local industries, all while staying rooted in Ethiopia. She said it simply: "It's a myth that you have to leave your country to succeed. I built everything here with what we already had." In 2016, Bethlehem stood at the podium of the United Nations General Assembly, the first African entrepreneur to ever do so. The world listened. And this time, they didn't hear pity, they heard power. She told them the truth, that aid and charity were never the solution, that what people needed were chances, not handouts. Poverty alleviation is a myth, She said, only prosperity creation can change lives, and prosperity comes from building things. Today, Soul Rebel stores are in the US, Japan, Switzerland, Greece, Singapore, and more. She's created over 100,000 jobs. She's generated more than $1 billion in revenue for her country. But when you ask her what makes her proudest, she doesn't mention numbers. She talks about the mother who now sends her daughter to school because she works at Soul Rebels. She talks about the old shoemaker who cried when he saw his handmade sandal in a Tokyo display window. She talks about the little girl in her neighborhood who now says, I want to be like Bethlehem. She says, this isn't just business, it's about giving people their pride back, giving them the chance to be seen. Bethlehem built more than a company. She built a movement. She showed the world that African success isn't about waiting for help. It's about remembering what we already have. Our hands, our minds, our people, our roots. And now when she walks through her neighborhood, she no longer sees silence. She hears machines running, laughter, footsteps, music, and shoes. Lots of beautiful hand-stitched shoes. If you are reading this and feel like the world forgot about your story, don't wait for a spotlight. Build your own stage.